Hi, this is Linda, and I'm continuing my study explaining American English. This is the second series. The first series was about pronunciation, and those are 6 videos. Now we're going to concentrate on building American English sentences, and this is lesson 3 on subject pronouns. This will be short. Then I have another one on linking verbs, which will be short. After that, we will get into the more complicated and hopefully more interesting to study aspects of building a sentence revolving around verbs, verb tenses, the way you express time in English. So to begin with, let's look at the pronouns as subjects. I'm only looking at them as subjects because we're talking about the 2 parts of a sentence, the subject part and the predicate part, that we learned in lesson 1, the 4 foundations. So pronouns as subjects. Pronouns as subjects would be the personal pronouns, I, you, we, they, he, she, it. And then all the other pronouns. Some English classes will spend time dividing these into groups, but the basic thing is they take the place of a noun, and they're not personal pronouns. So any of the others are just other pronouns. We'll look at those a little bit. Okay, when I talk about personal pronouns, you probably know, if you've studied English at all, that there are different forms of each one of these personal pronouns depending on where it fits in the sentence. I is the subject. You could also have me, my, mine, and myself, all talking about me. You, your, yours, yourself, yourselves. We, myself and another person. We, us, our, ours, ourselves. They, we're talking about some other people. They, them, their, theirs, themselves. He, him, his, himself. She, her, hers, herself. It, it's. When it's possessive, when it's not possessive and it's its, we don't usually use that. And then itself. So all of these others will come up as we build sentences later. But for now, for subject only, we're looking at these. So I'm going to give you some sentences. If this is very easy for you, at least consider them for pronunciation practice. I walk fast. There's the short A, walk. The L doesn't come through very well. I walk fast, but not I walk fast. I walk fast. There's a little break. You talk softly, not you talk softly. You talk softly. We think carefully. There are a lot of breaks here because of the K's. They study English. We don't have to stop at all there. They study English. He tells the truth. Some THs, TH there. Make sure you say the and th. He tells the truth, tongue out. She drives a red car. It sinks in the water. But all of these have the subject pronouns as the subject of the sentence. Now on that other section, I first mentioned that the word, some question words, they're called other things by some teachers, but I'm just going to call them question words. Who is your friend? I should get closer. Your friend is who? It's another way of asking the same question. This is a linking verb, so it can go on either side. Who is your friend? Your friend is who? They mean the same person. What is your name? Your name is what? What is your name? Your name is what? They can change places. Which is the correct answer? Switch places. The correct answer is which, and usually we would say which one because we're only asking for one. Okay, we also have introductory words as subject pronouns. Remember this, that, these, and those can be introductory words to a noun. Numbers can introduce nouns like 7 or 10 or 14. Then we have these vague number words like some, any, many, several, few, all, most. No and none I put together because they form a sort of a connection. So these can be the subject of a sentence, but they can also introduce another noun as we studied before. So let me give you some examples of how this works. Again, sentences for pronunciation practice if this is too easy. This sofa is comfortable. I'm going to say it again because somebody else agrees with me. Yes, this is comfortable. Here is the noun. Here is the introductory word used as a pronoun. This sofa is comfortable. Yes, this is comfortable. I didn't have to say sofa again. That information is important. Yes, that is important. Introductory word becomes pronoun. These apples are delicious. Yes, these are delicious. These, introductory word becomes pronoun subject. Those flowers are very lovely. Yes, those are very lovely. I wouldn't usually say those or any of these as the subject unless I've already named a subject. Then I can use it as a pronoun. So I said flowers, now I can refer to the flowers with the pronoun. And I took it from the introductory word. Numbers, specific numbers and general numbers. For instance, 5 chairs are missing. 5 are missing. Several jobs were completed. Yes, several were completed. The number word, here it was an introductory word to a noun. Here it takes the place of the noun, so it's a pronoun. A few employees worked late. Yes, a few worked late. I know who the few is, who the few are, because employees was mentioned in the first sentence. All tasks were finished. All were finished. Most streets are flooded. Most are flooded. It must have been a terrible rainstorm. Okay, a few of the words can be either singular or plural. For instance, as an example, most pizza is good. I'm talking about pizza in general, so it's singular. So if I'm repeating that thought and I don't want to say pizza again, I can just say most is good. Most is good, referring to the pizza. Most people are eating. Now I'm talking about a plural word. So when I use the introductory word as a pronoun, it's plural. Most are eating. Some stores are open, plural, so some are open. Some pie is left. There was only one pie, part of it is gone. Some of the pie. Some pie is left. Some is left because there's only one pie. All water is essential. That's that general word that's so general that we can't count it anyway. So it's all water is essential. All is essential. I'm repeating the same idea, but I didn't repeat water. All planes are flying. Yes, all are flying. Any progress is good. A general abstract noun, singular. Any is good. Any questions are okay. You can ask questions. Any questions are okay. I can repeat that idea. Any are okay. You already know I'm talking about questions, so I can say any are okay. No land is for sale. Now this is when that no and none go together. When it's an adjective or an introductory word, it's no, but when it changes to the pronoun, it becomes none. None is for sale. No rules were broken. None were broken. Here it's singular, here it's plural. Okay, then there are a few other ones on the list, and I can show them to you very quickly. These look plural, but they're singular. Everybody sounds like a lot of people, but we use it singular because of the word body, which is singular. Everyone, one is singular. Everything, it's like we're looking at them one at a time. Everybody, everyone, everything. Somebody, someone, something. Nobody, no one, nothing. Anybody, anyone, anything. Each one of these can go in this sentence. Everybody is here, everyone is here, everything is here, somebody is here, someone is here, something is here. Nobody is here, no one is here, nothing is here, anybody is here, anyone is here, anything is here. All of these are singular. They're all pronouns because I don't name who that is. I just put in a word that represents them, so that's a pronoun. Now those are our subject pronouns, and since this is so short, I'm going to add a little bit of culture to this. The culture tip is when you go to a restaurant in the United States, especially a full service restaurant, that means one where you are seated, you get a menu, you say what you want, they bring your food, they fill your water or your tea or your drink of whatever kind you have, and you are expected to give them a tip. The reason is because in America, the management, the owners assume you will get tips. They expect you to get tips at every meal. Therefore, they are not required, the owners are not required to pay minimum wage. They pay less than minimum wage, and that will be made up by tips. And the more you tip, the higher their income. But with no tip, they're not going to be able to work because they don't make enough money just by what the management pays them. They have to have a tip to survive. So tips are very important in that case. Now, in a restaurant where there is a buffet, that's from French evidently because this T is silent, but it's buffet. The food is out on a big counter and you pay and then you get a plate and you pick up each item that you want and then you go sit down and eat. Someone may bring you water or something to drink, but mostly you served yourself. In that situation, some people think I don't need to tip, but for many of those restaurants, the servers who take care of you to ask if you need something, to bring you another napkin, those people probably also are not making minimum wage or very low wage. So a tip is okay even in that situation. A fast food restaurant, there are no tips. And some restaurants where you walk up to the counter and you tell them what you want, they provide it, you walk to your own table, eat your food. Someone may check on you, but it's not on a regular basis. And then you clean up your own table and throw away your own trash. Those restaurants, a tip is not necessary at all. Sometimes they will have a tip jar on the counter. It's a jar that has a little hole for you to put money in. It says tips. If you want to, if you really liked being there, you can put some money in, but you do not have to and you are not necessarily expected to. And when you call a server, we don't shout across the restaurant or the establishment. We just raise our hand when they're looking our direction and try to get their attention that way. Wait till they walk by and get their attention. They're supposed to be coming by often enough that you can do that without shouting out in the restaurant that you need something. They're supposed to, it's part of their job, especially if they get a tip, to check on you. Okay, an idiom for today is, I'll give you, well, actually 2 idioms. Don't beat around the bush. It's a very common idiom. It means, I've asked you a question, for instance, and you are trying to give me an answer, but it's not clear. You're talking about side issues. I want to know this, and you're telling me about this and about this, but you're not telling me about this. This is what I asked. So you're beating around the bush, not the bush I'm talking about. So that's called beating around the bush. Don't beat around the bush. Tell me the direct answer. And another one, you are barking up the wrong tree. When a hunter went with his dog into the woods and they were trying to get a raccoon, for instance, the raccoon may be hiding in a tree. Which one? The dog barks at the bottom of the tree where he knows there is a raccoon. However, if he goes to a different tree and barks, there's no raccoon there. He's barking up the wrong tree. Well, we use this idiom as you're looking in the wrong place for the answer. If you want to get the answer, you're not going to find it there where you're looking. You have to look somewhere else. If you want to know the answer, don't ask him. He will not tell you. He probably doesn't know. You're barking up the wrong tree. You won't get your answer there. Okay, so we have a little bit about pronouns and then a culture tip and an idiom, and that's all for today. Next time it will be about linking verbs, which should be short also, but then when we get to the next one, it will be very much more in depth, and I think it will help you a lot once we get there. I've got to quit shaking the table. Sorry about that. See you next time. Bye.